Mezcalito para tu bien también. De pechuga mezcalito, mezcalito de maguey. Todo mal mezcalito para tu bien también.
Hello and welcome everybody to a very special recording for Dennis Barnett and his entire company. I am Erica Barnett, his daughter, and I am a professional podcast producer, and I podcast for Freedom Raveware as well as my own personal podcast. So today we thought we would get together for a very special cause. As I said, I'm here with Dennis Barnett, co-founder and partner of DC Craft Spirits and Xicaru Mezcal. As a company, they have decided to give back to the community in some way. They have partnered with two organizations very near and dear to their hearts. The two of those being Prostate Cancer Foundation as well as Republic National Distributing Company, to raise money to the stride in curing all types of prostate cancer. So, Dennis, please explain to myself and the audience why this foundation is relevant.
Well, first, thank you, Erica, for doing this. It's really a proud moment for me and our family to have you take us through this. So thank you very much for your excellent professionalism and guidance. So the reason for this program is that in 2014 I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and I'm currently battling a recurrence of prostate cancer. And so during that whole process, while I was receiving treatment, I looked around and saw other men in my group, and I decided that I wanted to do something to give back and to maybe in some small way contribute to the curing of this disease. So we chose to get involved with the Prostate Cancer Foundation, which I'll talk about here in a minute. And fortunately for us, our distributor partner, Republic National Distributing Company, Bob Hendrickson, Scott Lambert, and the whole executive team had the idea to raise some money through the sale of Xicaru Mezcal. And last year was our inaugural year. We raised just about $40,000. And this year we're hoping that we can double that amount and make a donation to the Prostate Cancer Foundation, which we're going to talk about here in a second.
Wow, that's really awesome and really inspiring that you guys have taken it upon yourselves to give back to a like this one. Not many companies, take the time to give back to the community in some way. So that's really a spectacular thing that you guys are doing. For our viewers that don't fully understand the lengths of prostate cancer and what that really means, can you break down the essential what prostate cancer really is?
Yes, it'd be my pleasure. Prostate cancer is the leading type of non-skin cancer in the United States. It's the second leading cause of cancer worldwide in men. Unfortunately, prostate cancer does not give off any early warning signs, and so it is typically called the silent killer. It's not. You have tumors that grow inside your body, typically in the prostate gland where it starts, and there's no pain because there's nothing there that is, the tumor pushes up against. And so the disease may be present for many, many years, silently doing its damage. There's approximately, the good news though, if it's caught early, through early detection, we'll talk a little bit about that, 95% of the cases are completely curable. And treatments protocols are highly successful, more successful than most other cancers. So what I want to do through this program is make sure that we get the word out and let men know that this is something that they need to be aggressive about in terms of detection and treatment. The numbers are astounding. 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. What that means in terms of numbers for 2018 is it's about 165,000 men this year alone will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and more than 29,000 will die.
Wow, that's really unfortunate. And obviously this seems like a very prominent issue in our society. You guys as DC Craft Spirits, with the distribution of Xicaru Mezcal, partnering with these two foundations, what can these viewers and other people do to push this along?
Well, the most important thing is step one. So that is, males, when they turn 40, should go to their doctor during a regular checkup or annual physical, and say, can I please have you test my PSA? What that is a blood test, is drawn from your arm, just like any other blood test that's being done. It's not a separate test. It can be included in your normal test. And what the doctor's looking for is a prostate-specific antigen. It's a protein in your blood. So if you have some kind of activity going on, that protein will show in your blood test. And then, depending on what level the PSA score is, then you either do very little, maybe called observation, or there may be some other test that they want to do. Depending on your doctor and such, there are some indicators that would lead you to go forward or not, and usually a number 3 prostate PSA score is kind of the benchmark, the level where there's a reason for continuing other types of tests. So at level 3, you probably will be going through some other tests through your doctor. So that's the key thing. And then every year past age 40, you should continue to get your PSA so they can see if there's any movement or not. Many times, men don't have that test done, and so they don't catch the cancer early enough till it's too late. While prostate cancer has one of the highest levels of survival, it is still a very, very deadly disease. It's the second largest killer among men that have cancer, of any type of cancer. So unfortunately, about every 20 minutes, someone dies, a man dies in this country from prostate cancer.
And you were saying that, there's not only one type of prostate cancer, depending on who you are and your genetics.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Prostate Cancer Foundation has been in existence for 25 years. We'll talk a little bit more about them in a second. But through this 25-year journey, they have detected that prostate cancer was once thought to be a single cancer. Through genetic testing and DNA testing, prostate cancer has 29 different variations and require different types of treatment depending on what variation you have. So if I can say one thing to everybody out here today, whether you're a brother, a prostate cancer patient, a father, a son, the best thing and the most important thing you can do is go get checked. It's all about early detection. And so I encourage everybody, following this meeting today to, call their doctor and schedule an appointment. It'll save your life.
So as far as this partnership, what can these viewers do to help raise money for this cause?
Well, what this is all about is putting on your selling shoes and taking an incredible product, Xicaru Mezcal, to your customer and making the presentation and telling the story. And I want to push the story back a little bit in this podcast and talk about Prostate Cancer Foundation, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the program. The Prostate Cancer Foundation was formed in 1993 by Michael Milken, and he was a stage 4 prostate cancer patient at that point in time, and his quest was to find better treatments and ultimately a cure for prostate cancer. Michael has been in the forefront of the financial world for many years, and he's also a leader in funding medical research, public health, and educational funding. The Prostate Cancer Foundation has paved the way for clinical research, which has led to very significant treatment accomplishments and advancements. One result would be in the last 25 years, the Prostate Cancer Foundation has opened the doors to scientists around the world. And as a result, the death rate from prostate cancer has dropped 52%. That's amazing.
Wow.
Results because, we've been battling cancer, all kinds of cancers in this country for many, many years with very little to show for it. And this is one area, where there's tangible results. A couple other things, that he and his organization has improved upon is early detection, like we talked about earlier. If you don't know, because it's a silent type of cancer, if you don't know that you have it, there's very little that can be done. So he's really pressed early detection, robotic assisted surgery, big, huge breakthrough. Takes less time, less bleeding, faster recovery. So those are all things that are very important. And as a result, 15 FDA-approved drugs have gone through Prostate Cancer Foundation research and funding, and there's a whole bunch of those new drugs coming through the pipeline. So
Nice.
without Michael Milken and this organization, we wouldn't be where we are today. It's the leading philanthropic organization in this area. The funds that Prostate Cancer Foundation and people like RNDC raise improve prevention, detection, treatment, and ultimately, like I said, we're going for a cure. The numbers are astounding. Over $745 million has been raised through
Wow.
Prostate Cancer Foundation, which funds 2,000 research programs in more than 2,000 cancer centers and universities around the United States, including 21 foreign countries. What led us to Prostate Cancer Foundation, why them, is the high rating in terms of results, but number two, 82 cents of every dollar that's donated goes directly to prostate cancer research. And in the world of charities and foundations,
That's astounding.
That's astounding. Yeah, a lot of these charities, siphon the money off to pay for things that are not going directly to the patient. So
That's unparalleled.
we are super lucky and fortunate to be associated with RNDC and Prostate Cancer Foundation. So, like you said, you were asking me earlier, 29 different types of cancer. This approach that they've taken, the way they think about it, they being the Prostate Cancer Foundation, is let's get to the smartest doctors with the greatest ideas and let them go do their work. And through this program that we're talking about here today with RNDC, we hope to be able to get more money to those top-notch scientists.
Wow. That's really a great thing you guys are doing and partnering with.
Let's talk about this program, if we
Yes.
could. Okay.
So this program that you guys are initiating, how about you tell us kind of the details and what people can do to impact and help push it along?
So we're calling, this program Curing Together, and with Prostate Cancer Foundation and RNDC, what we're doing is trying to rally our customers, if you will, and loved ones to take action. Buy Xicaru Mezcal, put Xicaru Mezcal on the menu, put it on the chalkboard, put it on the feature board, put it on the shelf, in the retail outlets, and help us raise money that we can give back to the world's top scientists to find a cure for prostate cancer.
And where can civilians purchase Xicaru Mezcal?
Well, they can purchase, it's going to be across 22 states in terms of this program. In our RNDC's network, and they can go to their local retailer, and if the retailer doesn't have the product, ask for it. They go to their favorite restaurant, hotel, bar, fun spot, and do the same thing. Ask for Xicaru by name, and every case that we sell, every bottle that is sold during the month of September, a portion of that profit will be donated to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. And like I said, 82 cents of that dollar is going to go directly to scientists to do their great work and help us find a cure. So,
and if I could just ask another question in that realm, I know not many people are very familiar with what Xicaru is. A lot of people lump it together with tequila, and that's obviously not the same thing as far as what it is. And I'm sure not a lot of people know that you can mix it with a variety of different interesting things. Would you like to share some of the fun and interesting drinks and things you can do with Xicaru?
Yeah, I'll just say a couple things about Xicaru, before we get started. The name is very difficult to pronounce. It's a Zapotec name, which is the indigenous people of Oaxaca in Mexico, where we make this, are Indians, and they speak their own language. So it's pronounced, the X is pronounced Z-E-E, Xicaru, instead of, in Spanish, it would be pronounced Xicaru. So that's the first challenge for all of us, is learn how to say the word. I've had it pronounced many different ways. And it means beautiful in Zapotec. So
Very
if
nice.
you just think in the back of your mind, beautiful mezcal, Xicaru, help you remember that. We make this product completely all natural. There's no chemicals, there's no fertilizers, there's nothing in it. It's Mother Nature. That's all that's all it's about, is just the respect for tradition and Mother Nature. And we control the whole production process from the ground all the way to the glass. So the only thing that we don't personally control the production of is the glass itself, although the glass is recycled. So we're trying to minimize our carbon footprint all the way through.
Very nice.
We don't make the cork or the stopper, and we don't make the paper today. But everything else is all natural, no artificial colors, flavors, or chemicals. And we repurpose everything. So everything goes back into the ecosystem, if you will, in a natural way. So we make three types of Xicaru. Xicaru Silver 81, not aged. We make Xicaru 102, a little bit higher alcohol content, not aged, and it's what we call the Mescalero, or the distiller's proof. Higher alcohol, if done properly, just presents a bolder flavor product. We make Xicaru Reposado, which is aged in American oak barrels for 4 months, and we will soon release Xicaru Añejo, which we're really anxious to see how that turns out.
That's really catching fire, the whole Añejo movement.
So Xicaru has been in existence for 5 years. We celebrate our 5th anniversary in September, the end of September. We made a special batch of Pachuga, so maybe there'll be a little bit of that floating around just for special occasions. And all the people that we work with that help us make Xicaru Mezcal, including our master distiller, Fernando Santabanez, who's the magic man behind all of this, have been making mezcal father to son for many, many generations. So this is a very deep cultural process and tradition. Mm-hmm. And as we have prospered in the company, thanks to all the good work that RNDC has done and will continue to do, our families that work with us in Mexico are also prospering, and we are going to be able to keep that chain of father to son passed down, because recently, in the last 10 years, a lot of the sons have gone off to get other jobs, either in the United States or other parts of Mexico, because they couldn't afford
to provide for their families.
And so this is really helping to perpetuate a custom and a tradition into the foreseeable future. So we're really happy about that.
Yes.
And then lastly, one thing that we do, which we feel very strongly about, in addition to the Prostate Cancer Foundation involvement, is we support a children's home in Oaxaca, Mexico. It's a nonprofit organization that's actually headquartered in California, and have been providing funds about the last 50 years for children, unfortunate children in Mexico. And this particular children's home has between 65 and 100 kids, and our money, 90 cents on the dollar that we contribute, goes towards education. So when we became involved there, the first thing that we did is help buy some vans to get the kids into the city to get to school on time and such. And we've been fortunate enough in the last 18 months to help build a school and staff that school for kids from kindergarten to 7th grade.
It's really inspiring. You guys are hitting all sorts of age groups for giving back that not many companies even provide back to one foundation, let alone two. So that's really awesome. We all know that now what Xicaru is. We know sort of what Mezcal is and how it differs. It could be considered to be an acquired taste. So I know I kind of turned my nose up at it the first time that you had me try it, but recently you've been showing me all these ways that you can dramatically vary the flavor. So what are some really interesting things that you could share with the audience in ways of creating craft cocktails?
So many people, like my little daughter here, my gringa, will need to work on acquiring a taste for mezcal neat. So we've worked with bartenders around the United States to come up with really delicious, simple cocktails, very much like any other spirit. We're very proud of the quality and the heritage and tradition of mezcal, and we hope that people can enjoy it anyway, neat and or in a cocktail. So some of the cocktails I've been sharing with you are forms of current cocktail categories, like a tiki. Now, who would think of a tiki type drink, which would normally be with rum, right? Mm-hmm. You could use mezcal, right? So that drink that I made for you the other day is basically a tiki cocktail. It's coconut and vanilla and other ingredients that you would put in there, like pineapple and such. We can do variations on margaritas, variations on classic cocktails like a Manhattan or a Negroni even, which is a gin cocktail. Manhattan's a whiskey-based cocktail. Can do an old-fashioned.
And then you also had that sort of after-dinner cocktail that you made with the coffee.
The coffee, yeah.
Who would think smoky and coffee would pair nicely, but
and that was an easy one.
Go.
That was a coffee liqueur combined with white cocoa and Xicaru. We actually used the Xicaru Reposado with that, and it's depending on your taste, it's a third. So super simple. It can be iced or it can actually just be consumed neat. And as we travel around the United States and gather with bartenders that come up with their own variations of cocktails, we have built quite a nice database of those ingredients to share with our partners and our friends to encourage them as well. But essentially, there are no rules for mezcal. Just play around, enjoy it, whatever your flavor profile is. Bloody Marias are also really darn good during football season in parts of the United States, where it gets a little cooler during the day, and you just make up your own batch of margarita or Bloody Mary, and pick your favorite Xicaru.
What I would really push for our viewers right now, and whoever may catch wind of this podcast, I would really encourage you to mess around with mezcal, the Xicaru, and see what you come up with. And if you come up with something, that's worthwhile sharing, you can go ahead and DM on Instagram, Xicaru_mezcal. That's XICARU_MEZCAL. Mezcal, or you can even just comment on one of the pictures your exact recipe, and I'm sure other people would love to hear about it.
That's an awesome suggestion, Erica. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's here listening, and for what you did last year, and what you're going to do this year in the month of September. So, ready, aim, sell Xicaru Mezcal. And let's raise as much money as we can possibly raise for a great cause, Prostate Cancer Foundation, and for the young children down in Oaxaca, Mexico.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. It was a pleasure being here with my dad and owner, co-founder, and partner of DC Craft Spirits in Xicaru Mezcal. Look out for it.
You have to go to your local retail store and see what they have, and if they don't carry it, be bold enough to ask for it.
And go ahead, mess around with it. Do whatever tastes right to you, and let us know about it, and we will share with the rest of our audience. Thank you guys so much for listening.